That means let's lead into probably our main, as it's been the last couple of weeks, the main kind of cricket story and cricket series going on, and that's the India versus England series. Pepe, do you want to run us through what happened to end the third test, where we finished up with India coming back out to bat?
Yeah, chasing down 49 or whatever they had. They did that comfortably. I think whilst we were on the Esky last week in the 3 hours and 20 minutes, we witnessed 18 wickets fall. It's pretty remarkable scenes, really. It's one of the weirdest test matches I think I've ever seen. So obviously England made 112. India came out 145. Looks like not too bad a test. England comes out on day 2 where we were sitting down and just got absolutely demolished for 81. Akshar Patel ripping through them and Ravi Ashwin doing the rest. And then Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill made light work of the final runs there. India win by 10 wickets. Test match over in 2 days. That is the 6th shortest test match ever in terms of balls bowled, and the shortest since 1935.
That's
if
wild.
you don't mind.
Wild.
But so before World War II, let that sink in. Akshar Patel had himself a game in his second test, finished with 11 for 70 in the match, and Ravi Ashwin had 7 for 74. The biggest talking point, I suppose, was the pitch. We will get into that in just a second. I'd like to just throw out a few numbers, if you will. So there was 842 deliveries in the test match. England faced 476. That works out to be 24 balls a wicket when England batted. So you talk about guys with elite strike rates, and it's 58 or something is an elite test strike rate, mid-50s. So 24 is what the bowlers were striking at in this one. The shortest test ever with a result. To put it into perspective, way back in 1932, Australia and South Africa would have been one of South Africa's first tests.
I remember it well.
656 balls. So nearly
4 innings, though.
Yeah, nearly 200 balls shorter than this one. Very poignant as well. The quicks didn't really get a look in this game. Jasprit Bumrah had 6 overs between 2 innings, and Ishant Sharma 5 overs, and they went with the 3 spinners. Good on them. Washington Sundar bowled 4 balls.
Wait, did he still get a wicket?
No, I think he did actually. I'll have a look.
I'm pretty sure he got the last one.
He's on that strike rate, 4 balls.
There's probably a reason why he bowled 4 balls. It probably was a wicket. I'll have a look at that in just a sec. So
I'm pretty sure he got the last tail.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think he did get the last pole there, justifying his spot probably in the team.
Exactly, and on the last wicket, 100%.
I think the question that we're asking, and cricket tragics all around the world are asking, is: was the state of the pitch in Ahmedabad acceptable for Test cricket?
This time last week, when the test match was wrapping up, and apologies for not being here for those listeners. I know you love my docile tones coming across your earwaves, but I was following the game, and my initial thoughts were, what a fucking disgrace. How can this be test cricket? Oh my God, over and done with in 2 days. India cheating their heads off. They put it on a deck that can't last 2 days. You couldn't give me 2 lousy days, Mo. And it was just a deplorable, what a joke. And as I've sort of calmed down and thought about it over the last week, I've gone full 180. I don't want to say I love it, because I think 2 days is way too extreme. 2 days is too extreme. But we have talked about it here on the podcast, about how we love Test cricket and the subtleties to it.
Yeah.
And how home ground means something. It's one of the few sports where, what you play on, every other sport in the world, you play on the same deck.
Yeah.
But you go to change countries, the dynamics change, the size of the field. Look at what the Aussies and New Zealanders are playing on. They're playing on rugby fields.
Yep.
You can top edge a ball and hit it out of the ground.
Primary school ovals.
Exactly right. And look, again, 2 days for a test match probably isn't up to scratch, but is that up to England? You just got to play spin better. You can't, because India also got rolled for 140.
That's right.
Joe Root's taking poles everywhere.
Yes, but Joe Root's doing 5 for 80, 5 for 8 off 9 overs.
No, I don't think he bowled that.
Yeah, that's bananas numbers.
And opening with spinners, your tragics of the sport say, no, your opening bowlers have to charge in for 8 overs and the opening batsman takes the shine off. But it's like, no, why would you bowl? The spinners are turning it at 2 meters. So absolutely, I'm going to give them a new ball, a pronounced seam. So. Yeah, I don't want to say I love it, but I kind of like if the Aussies were there, you can imagine the outroar that we would around and we'd be so guilty. They're cheating. The fact it's happening in England. Look, I'm not angry to see them wallowing, but
I think going into it as well, they probably should have picked a better side for this. Like
we did mention
if Joe Root's spinning it, like, well, let's have 2 specialist spinners in here.
You've got Don Best there carrying the drinks. Yeah,
exactly.
But again, I think we liked. We love Test cricket here. We like talking about Test cricket. All anyone's done is talked about the cricket. They've talked about, is this good? You follow any pommy pundit, Michael Vaughan is, cannot stand the fact that, this is awful, this is unplayable, you can't play Test cricket on this. But, as an edge goes through gully for Dan Lawrence and ball races away for 4. But even like watching some of these wickets, the opener, Siraj has taken 2 wickets, but the ball hasn't bounced. At all, and he's been bowled in an LB. So, look, it's part of playing in India for mine.
I'm in a similar camp to you, Mac. When I was watching this happen, unfold live last time we were sitting down here, I was just thinking, this is a monstrosity, like this is a joke. And then sort of reevaluating, I probably wouldn't go as far as saying I've done a whole 180, but I can appreciate this is the reason why Test cricket is the pinnacle of cricket. You can't compare a Test pitch in India to Australia and to the West Indies and to England and to New Zealand.
They're different all over the place.
And for everyone that's come out and say, the Indians doctor pitches to suit their conditions, and this is hard for me to say. Everyone does.
Everyone does.
You go to England and New Zealand and you can't tell the difference between the green on the deck and the green in the infield, and you come here in South Africa and the ball's
flying and pinning
off flying past people's throats, and you got to try and take your green and gold glasses off and go, well, I suppose everyone does do it, and it was easier seeing it happen to England than seeing it happen to Australia. You can be a little bit more analytical and a little bit neutral because you don't have it playing at you personally. So there was a few guys in the other camp. So Yuvraj Singh come out, tweeted saying like it wasn't fit for Test cricket. So that's interesting coming from a former Indian player guy who would have played with Ravi Ashwins and a few guys in this side. He said if Kumble and Harbhajan bowled on decks like this, they would have taken 1,000 wickets each. Hard to argue with you there, Yuvraj. And then guys like Mark Waugh and Darren Goff were coming out and they were using the Joe Root example. They're saying when Joe Root's taken 5 for 8, the pitch is very questionable.
Yeah, but hey, remember when Michael Clarke took 6 for 9 and everyone loved how good that was? Awesome, but that was great for cricket.
Yeah.
So, again, is every match in India going to last 2 days and no one's going to hit above 150? No. So, again, I think the 2 days, the extremity of it, like the pendulum swung way too much to the other side. But again, if there was a loud crowd in India as well, that's part of it. You've got a cop screaming
exactly.
for 8 hours or whatever it is.
Test cricket.
You are sweating. You are getting the ball, doing everything. That's why you remember the Michael Clarke knocks in India. You remember Gilly when he captained that Test win in India, or probably our last one. That's the stuff you remember. You remember that gritty victory. So again, it is way too extreme. And when you've got guys like Yuvraj Singh coming out, he's India through and through. He's only just retired from T20 cricket. So, again, look, Sharma hit 102 tests ago when no one could hit the ball. So people, you just got to be good enough.
Yeah, and Sharma, they made it look very easy chasing down that 49 runs after England just
no loss, of course,
destroyed. And I think Kevin Peterson was sort of in that camp defending the deck. He's saying it wasn't so much the deck; it was hard to bat on, but poor batting was responsible, not the deck. He said it wasn't the spin that was doing so much. It was guys not playing the right line, and both teams had to bat on it.
I think that goes to our next point, which a lot of the followers that had put in our comments was that the pink ball was a little bit different, where it was grabbing, it was skidding on a bit more. So it was because a lot of the wickets were actually straight.
Yeah, exactly.
They were playing the spin. Yeah. Then they were expecting the spin. It didn't turn, and it's played straight on, and it's hit the pads or gone straight through the gate.
Shout out to Steve O'Keefe when he got Coley leaving and everyone was playing for spin. And Sock hasn't spin a ball once in his career. I think he took a 12 for in a match. So he knew how to do it.
Shout out to Kerry O'Keefe. He played for spin. He played for spin.
So the pink
Love
ball
the
of this may have also contributed to
Yeah, I
this?
think so. Yeah, it did look like it was skidding sometimes where that hard red ball might not have been skidding that much, and it wasn't the lateral movement, lateral spin that was getting blokes undone. It was that uneven bounce. Whether or not whether or not that was the ball, whether that was the deck, whether it was a combination, most likely the latter option there.
Yeah, I think a bit of everything. And
credit to the Indian spinners as well. The drift and the overspin that Patel and Ashwin were creating, like that ball was just fizzing every single time it come out of their hands.
Yeah, the ball was doing everything, every ball. So
and I think
it was all different as well. So
well, I think we've talked about the last couple of weeks is picking Patel left arm orthodox, Ashwin right arm off spin, Kuldeep off spin, left arm Chinaman. You've got Sundar. Off, like we've talked about the depth in their pool they can pick from. We talk about England bottling the selection. India have this pool of spinners who all do something different. Let's put them together.
Get a completely different look every over. So it's
that's another part about Test cricket. Yeah, you've got to get the right selection. So I don't want to skip too far ahead. Like England have only picked 3 known bowlers here. They've got the keeper batting 8. Like they're trying something. You've got to try something different. You've got to change your mindset. You've got to change your team. You can't have the same openers. You can't have the same bowlers. Like again, I love it for the fact that it's making Test cricket more tactical, and you got to move the chess pieces around. And England forced a hand from what happened in the first Test. They won. They beat. It was even going in. I thought, if it was a neutral ground, you couldn't really pick them. And England won. That was a massive victory. And Peps and I were talking a bit earlier. I think the curator actually got sacked from the pitch. So
that's telling. That means that people.
It was too flat. Didn't bounce.
Yeah, exactly. Too flat, so England dominated, and then
when Coley talks, you get sacked. So
there you go. So
we might upset a few people in the comments for saying that, but that's all right. Let us know.
Please do. But you think, well, all right, fuck it. Aussie should just go whacker in the 90s and just have it in everywhere. Let's just have whacker pitches, and then we'll have our quick bowlers bounce you out of the attack. But then it comes, if we had a Test match end in 2 days, the revenue lost from days 3 and 4, day 5 is what it is for most countries, that's critical. Whereas in India, money will never ever be a problem for the BCCI.
No.
They literally control world cricket. So they can end it this session. At the end of the Test match now, we've made all the money. We don't need fans. We don't need players half the time. We'll just get anyone to roll on the field. We'll still make money from this. So you can't say to New Zealand, make it a green top and bowl a team out in a day, because the New Zealand Cricket Organisation, well, we want more of a match because we want more people through the game.
Exactly.
We
they want a
cricket.
competitive.
And that is what happened last time India was in New Zealand back in 2019-2020 summer. They played 2 tests and India got steamrolled. I think there was about 5 days play between the 2 tests. And exact same thing, green decks, like Bolt and Southey just tearing shreds through them. And I don't remember there being that uproar around the time when it happened in New Zealand.
Exactly. How good is it to see New Zealand battling? Green top, it moves around. We go to the Ashes. We got done for 70 odd. Trent Bridge,
Trent Bridge, yep.
Stuart Broad rips through us, and look at that. And I think Nathan Lyon came out and saying, we bowled a team out for 36. We get done by 70 by quicks and pace, and it's exciting for cricket. But when spinners do it, all of a sudden
it's the deck.
It's the deck, and it's awful. And Test cricket's ruined now because spinners can just, Joe Root can just throw it, and he gets 5 wickets. And, God, Root could have just been landing them. Could have just been gripping them, the pink ball, everything.
Had his day.
He just could have had his day. So that argument, Joe Root shouldn't be taking, 5 for 8. Sure, he shouldn't. Michael Clark shouldn't take 6 for 9 and win a Test
Probably
match.
never going to do it again.
Exactly, but you don't open with spinners every Test either. Like it was just a Test where shit happened. So I have honestly pretty much gone full 180 with this and said you got to play in India, you got to pick spinners, bowl well with spin, and play spin. That's part of it, and then throw in a Mohammad Shiraz. The ball rolls at you. So,
So final point I think we want to make on the pitch. What do you think then of the 4th Test pitch in comparison, considering they're playing at the same spot? Considering
second time it's happened, so They did that for the first 2 tests as well. Am I right?
Yes.
In Chennai?
Correct.
Yeah.
Double in Chennai, double here in Ahmedabad.
Considering in the third test that pitch was very dusty and you can see it crumbling after about 10 overs, what do you think of this one in comparison?
Just looking at it, it looks a lot nicer. It seems to be playing a lot nicer.
Probably why the fast bowlers are still bowling in this test.
Yeah, well, they've already bowled more overs now. It's
In this one,
Siraj
the last
into
two?
his 14th.
It's the very start of the third session on day one, and the Quicks have already bowled more than they did in those 2 days.
Isn't it?
Well, in the last 2 tests?
Possibly. So Sharma and Siraj, as we speak, England 5 for 156, just back after tea. They've already bowled 23 overs, and they bowled 11 in the last. So that's a testament to
Siraj himself has outbowled the fast bowling cartel. So.
yeah, exactly. So there's
But
obviously-
again, because
obviously the deck's been changed.
why would you take Ashwin and Patel off last week?
Oh,
Why would you
there's
take them
no
off?
reason-
Why
no
would you
reason.
put them up?
Nah.
This
When they're
time-
on an absolute heater.
And I said a little bit earlier, look, Siraj, he's been toiling away. Both wickets, one rolled and got bowled, the other one rolled, hit him on the pads. But Sibley walked down the track, tried to hit one out when you're opening the batting. He skied it. I think Patel, we were looking at it, Pepsi on the golf course a bit earlier, and he was into his second over and already had 2 for. So, and we thought, here we go again.
Yeah,
here we
that's
go
exactly
again.
what we thought we were
Yeah,
thinking
we're like,
earlier.
oh,
And
Yeah, England currently 5 for 156
Yeah.
at the end of the 59th.
Well, Stokes has come in and
credit to
steadied them.
Stokes, he
Yeah.
got a half century, and Lawrence and Pope doing their best fighting out there at the moment. It looks like
They've put on 39 here, so both into their 20s. And again, like I said earlier, Folkes batting at 8. Folkes probably the most well-known keeper for England. So they've said, we're going to sacrifice a bowling spot and maybe runs, despite Folkes actually showing a bit this series, because there's no point having 4 well-known bowlers, having a second quick who might have they missed the mark this hit. We're into 59 overs now. So maybe it had to be last test. But again, this is Test cricket we're talking about here. It's about batting your keeper at 8. It's about picking 2 spinners or Ben. We've got Ben. They have Ben Stokes. You have this really good all rounder. Use him a bit more. Joe Root took 5 wickets. All right, we'll roll him out and we'll put an extra bat in because we clearly can't hit runs. So it's all part of the chess match that is Test cricket. And we talk about the toss not mattering and who gives a shit about the toss? Toss gets important now. You don't want to bat 4th.
Yep.
You look at the wicket dozen day 1 of last.
well, England's
test.
won 3 of these tosses out of the forward now, haven't they?
So So we'll see what's happening here. Siraj charging in here.
It looks like a great field though. They've definitely watered that grass.
Lot greener.
It's very
Yeah.
green. So overall,
couldn't-
it looks a lot greener.
Look, if this came out and ended on the second day again, then you sort of look at it and you go, well, you're not actually preparing.
Yeah.
Because I remember a couple of years ago at the Wacker where safety was actually an issue for players. There was cracks on the second day, and you said
They had canyons
players
to bowl into.
players are going to get hurt from this. So you're not going to get hurt from an 85 kilometre per hour spinner that just might rear up and hit you, but it's a different thing. We just physically can't play on this. So
It just
they had to obviously give it a bit more, put a bit more grass on top.
It does look a lot more grassy.
Yeah.
There's nowhere near the amount of
The
dirt
dust-
and dust getting kicked up
There's
as there
no
was in
In
dust
fact,
the last
explosions.
test.
the pitch just next to it, I think it's the exact same pitch they play. They rolled they rolled out on that last week. They didn't bother covering it at all. So here they are. But we'll see where this goes. England could still draw this series, which would be such a to win the first one. The roller coaster that this series has been was oh my god, England won in India. This could be anything. To
Convincingly.
India just absolutely rolling them for 2 tests. A draw here would be all time. This would be an all-time series.
Drawn series. Yeah.
If they go back with the draw here. So, again, we've been talking about Test cricket for a month here, and Australia haven't faced any of these balls. So, it's
Scintillating.
awesome. Yeah, scintillating. Great use of the word.
Speaking of Australia, and there are implications
Yeah, let's talk
here,
about
obviously, still in terms of the ICC World Test Championship. So England are out. That loss in the third test confirmed that.
Yep.
So it's now a race between India and Australia to face off against New Zealand at Lords in June. So India do have the upper hand because they go through with a win or draw. So Australia only goes through with an England win.
And no result, I think. So if it rained for the next 4 days.
No, no good.
No good?
So it's
So that's a draw anyway. That's a draw.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've literally got to put on our pom
Yes.
hats
Come on,
and,
England,
and
get stuck
try
in.
and cheer on. I was saying it to Mac when we were driving over and Stokes was at the crease. He just got his 50th. I thought, not the biggest Ben Stokes fan as a bloke. Excellent cricketer. I never thought, oh, geez, I'm cheering for Ben Stokes to score a ton. But yeah, again, we've said it last week. We've said it in the last few weeks. Good on the ICC for adding this to spice up, Test cricket. Mm-hmm. And here we are watching England and India with extreme intent, whereas possibly back in the day you might have just watched the highlights, or read in the paper the result.
I think it will be good. I hope they put a bit more into it, because I remember when they announced it and I initially thought, oh, what a great idea.
It needs to be an event like the Super Bowl. Like, it needs to be
it's so hard because it's over.
Such a long period. Oh, it's over 2 years.
Yeah, you can't do it any other way, which is the issue.
No.
So, but you can't pump an event up for 2 years.
That lasts for 6 months.
Yeah. Even like the Soccer World Cup, it's built up for 4 years. But, you're 6 months out and you go, oh, shit, World Cup's on this year. Or, the Olympics. Like, cool. Mm-hmm. So, and it's a brand new thing. They got to work out ways to actually make. And, again, that fucking pandemic that we're in. If that wasn't on and there was a full house at Lords and you had, if it is New Zealand and India and Lords, the packed house, that would be awesome. That would be so cool. Mm-hmm. And again, it probably favours New Zealand because swinging conditions probably go there. So could India shock the world and go over? I remember way back when it's a nut.
It is actually
Patel's
the World 11 when Australia just would beat everyone. So they made that World 11. They came down here and they played the 6-day test. Again, Test cricket, you get the best players.
Brian Lara,
Rahul Dravid in the same team.
Rahul Dravid, Tendulkar, I think. Yeah.
And they played a few tests.
They gave it test status as well.
Like the stats count. Yeah,
they were official test matches.
Awesome. So everyone who played in that game is like, for India, brackets World 11.
World 11.
You played it. You went
test for the World 11.
Yeah, you came out to Melbourne for a couple of weeks and you got a couple of stats. But
good. They should bring that back. I don't know. Maybe you'd have to play India in India.
Yeah, on that deck. Yeah. Good luck.
Cricket All-Stars.
Good luck, World 11.
I'll bring Steve Waugh back. Thank you.
So I suppose that's probably all we want to say regarding India and England. Obviously,
we'll keep you updated throughout the podcast on what's happening.
The third session, day one, as we are live at the moment.
Yeah, Lawrence and Pope looking like they're getting in at this stage. Though Patel is spinning
got the curse on if I've ever heard.
Yeah, Patel's spinning it everywhere though.
Yeah,
he's had a great start, Patel. Like you got to say, this series you can't be, asked to be blessed with more. He's got the spotlight on him.
He's got 20 plus wickets in 3 tests.
And so he's made his name, and people have said, I think Waugh might have said if Jadeja played on this deck, he would have taken all 20 wickets. But he's come on. It's a spinning deck. You're a spinner. Take the wickets. So
you'll like this, boys. So not including the 2 for 48 that he currently has. So from his 2 test matches, start of his test career, 18 wickets, average 9.44.
Yeah, and he'll
pretty handy start.
He'll go every pub he can go to ever and say, "Look at my test career average bowling." Like it's an outlier.
Well, there's one more thing there. I did say that we were going to finish up on India and England when Jadeja's back. Just you'd imagine he goes straight back in for Sundar, and then what are they?
Yeah, where are they playing? This is where it comes up to. Where are they?
If they don't want to go with 3 spinners, I don't know where India goes next.
Because Washington,
maybe he might be keeping Jadeja out of the side.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hey, yeah,
because Washington of the 3 is even Ashwin they can bat. Like
that's the scary thing when you're batting to 9 and also turning it the length of the stadium.
Yeah,
you're now getting to superpower, and Indian fans will say they're there now, but it's scary to think what they could do because they've done it. Look at their last 2 test series. They beat Australia without all their names. They've come here and they've done it. They've done it both ways. They got bowled out for 36, won the series. They lose the first test as Ashwin just gets Ollie Pope there, chipping to the short leg. That's a good catch.
What happened there? I thought
that Shubman at short leg.
It looked like it went down though. Did it bounce off his foot?
They're having a chat about it. Is he going to review?
He hit it, but I think it went down. So it looks like it's gone down, hit his foot and bounced straight back up.
He was pretty pumped, Shubman Gill at short leg. This is good radio at the moment, boy.
He's just like,
listening to blokes watching. So
they're going to review
original decision's out. So that's Ashwin huge. That is massive.
While they bring this up, 5 test matches, if you don't mind, between England and India in England. So
coming up after the IPL. The IPL, and then it goes straight into it. So, again, How good for Test cricket? That's out. That's out.
yeah.
He's hit his
Do you reckon?
back leg. Yeah,
Off his
so-
back leg. If he's hit
shit,
it.
man, that's very that's
Handy
good.
grab there.
So this is where it gets interesting, and it comes into the.
Man,
he
that's
smashed
unlucky.
it. Yeah, he
he's hit
smashed
that.
it. So
That's out big time.
Pope's come down the wicket, tried to work it to mid wicket. He's inside edged onto his back pad, and it's sort of bobbled.
Like
Still come quick.
Off the top of the pad as well.
Yeah, and Gill's been very quick there at short leg.
Unlucky there.
Again, you
Comes
go
on
to
there, Pope.
straight off. He's gone. So again, look,
So the curse
I don't want to
continues.
say Sean cursed him, but 87 balls faced. That's the devil's number.
Yes.
That's it's you get set, you feel comfortable.
We should bag him more. That seems to work.
Yeah,
England, you suck.
yeah.
Come on.
Fuck you, England. How's the Ashes, dickheads?
The other thing that comes into play now is that selection of folks and batting to 8, going only with the 3 specialist bowlers. If folks can do something here and hang around.
Well, Lawrence showed he made that 50 as well 2 Test matches ago. He seems to be handling the spin well, and you just have to pick your best players of spin. You just have to start horses for courses, which builds your squad. It seems that India have low-key been doing this for a while. They come to Australia and they pick this certain team, and we say, why isn't Sundar getting a game? Oh, who's this Akshar Patel? Oh, he's this good. Now, like I said, we were talking about it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, you got bloke
Australia
guys.
doesn't quite have this pool of 20 blokes. You can pick horses for courses.
Yeah.
We've got 9 blokes who pick themselves, and we just lost a series at home. So I think we need to start looking at this series and going, let's not worry about the big, bulky 6 who can also bowl. Let's actually start building this depth. And we talk about the end of this year's Sheffield Shield, the start of next year's Sheffield Shield are all the white clothes cricket we have. So let's really put an emphasis on it. Where do you want to improve? Let's start looking at things. And we will get into it about those who are making runs,
We'll
who
get
are
to the
making
Sheffield Shield
noise.
in a minute. So
That's how have I made this Test match between India and England about Sheffield Shield?
It always
Beautiful.
comes back home,
Beautiful.
doesn't it?
It does. So
We'll wrap it up there.
I think that'll do for India and England.
we'll keep it up. That wicket landed as we were wrapping that up.
Yes,
That's
yes,
why we dragged on. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll blame the wicket. Yeah.